Welcome to the online Public Information Center for the City of Mississauga's Schedule B Municipal Class Environmental Assessment Study. The purpose of this study is to develop a flood mitigation plan for the general area between Etude Drive and Justine Drive in the Malton community. The presentation will review the study's purpose, past flooding issues and need for improvements, work completed to date, and review the alternatives, including the preliminary preferred solution to mitigate flooding. We will also summarize what we heard from residents and how these concerns are being addressed, next steps, how to stay engaged, and provide feedback. The general area between Etude Drive and Justine Drive in Malton is comprised of mostly single detached residential properties and is subject to urban flooding during storm events, including the rainstorm that occurred on July 8, 2013, which affected a number of homes in the neighborhood. Previously, a flood study for the larger Malton community, led by the Toronto Region Conservation Authority, TRCA, was undertaken, which investigated flooding across the entire community and highlighted this area and others for potential flood mitigation efforts. Based on that study's findings, the city identified this area between Etude Drive and south of Justine Drive as a high priority site and initiated this flood study. The goal of this study is to mitigate urban flooding risks to people, property, and infrastructure. The study has identified and evaluated various alternative solutions, including the preliminary preferred solution to help mitigate flooding. The study is following the Schedule B planning and design process in accordance with the 2015 Municipal Engineers Association Municipal Class Environmental Assessment document. This included creating awareness of the project and engagement through notifications to agencies, stakeholders, Indigenous communities, and residents. Residents were also sent letters outlining the specific potential impacts to city-owned lands adjacent to their property beside the pedestrian walkway, within the road boulevard, or beside the outlet structure and channel. The scope of this project involves hydraulic and flood modeling and supporting studies to understand the existing conditions of alternative solutions being evaluated and to support future project design. These include Flood Mitigation Preliminary Design Report, Natural Environment Report, Fluvial Geomorphological Assessment, Arborist Report and Tree Preservation Plan, Stage 1 Archaeological Assessment Report, Cultural Heritage Memorandum. The Natural Environment Report includes an inventory of the existing natural environment conditions, including aquatics, including fish and fish habitat, vegetation communities, significant wildlife habitat, species at risk. Natural environment features within the study area include Mimico Creek and its surrounding natural area, in addition to street trees and public parks. The Fluvial Geomorphological Assessment characterizes the fluvial geomorphological conditions along the tributary of East Mimico Creek and East Mimico Creek itself, including delineation of reaches, including their stability and any potential erosion concerns, as well as future channel design considerations. The Arborist Report and Tree Preservation Plan assessed the general health and structure of the trees within the anticipated areas of proposed work. Tree removals will be required for all of the alternative solutions, with final details confirmed for the preferred solution prior to construction. The Stage 1 Archaeological Assessment Report and Cultural Heritage Memorandum reviewed the potential for cultural heritage resources, including archaeological resources, built heritage resources, cultural heritage landscapes. A Stage 2 archaeological assessment is required for areas not previously disturbed prior to construction. There are no known previously identified or potential built heritage resources or cultural heritage landscapes associated with any of the alternative solutions. The Flood Mitigation Preliminary Design Report details the modeling steps completed to determine existing flooding along the study area. Results show 37 homes being impacted during the 100-year event. These properties are also being impacted during more frequent storm events, such as 2-year and 5-year events. 5 possible alternatives to reduce or eliminate flooding were explored. All solutions are limited to city-owned lands and/or public right-of-way. Alternative 1 involves replacing the existing storm sewer beneath the pedestrian walkway and within existing city property from Etude Drive to the Municipal Creek outfall channel in Dairy Greenway Park, regrading the walkway and complete outlet upgrades south of Justine Drive. Alternative 2 involves constructing underground storage in Ridgewood Park, installation of a new relief sewer within the right-of-way, regrading of the pedestrian walkway within city property from Etude Drive to Municipal Creek, and outlet upgrades south of Justine Drive. Alternative 3 involves constructing underground storage in Ridgewood Park, installation of a new relief sewer within the right-of-way, and outlet upgrades south of Justine Drive. Alternative 4 involves constructing underground storage in Ridgewood Park and a bioswale. Alternative 5 involves constructing underground storage in Ridgewood Park, along with additional storage in the right-of-way and regrading of the pedestrian walkway within the existing city property from Etude Drive to Municipal Creek. The alternative solutions were assessed against various land use, technical, natural environment, socio-cultural environment, and cost-related criteria to determine which alternative had the least overall impact. This included consideration of impacts to property. Based on the evaluation, Alternative 1 was identified as the preliminary preferred solution. This involves replacing the existing storm sewer with a larger box storm sewer beneath the pedestrian walkway and Honeysuckle Avenue within the existing city property from Etude Drive to the outfall channel and associated restoration. There will also be regrading of the walkway for an overland flow route. The preliminary preferred solution also includes outfall upgrades south of Justine Drive at the outfall channel in Dairy Greenway Park that flows into Municipal Creek. This solution significantly reduces the potential impacts of flooding to properties in this specific area, minimizes impacts to public parks, and has a lower overall cost when compared to the other alternatives. Based on the modeling results, there is a significant reduction in flooding. The implementation of the preferred solution would eliminate all homes from being impacted along the walkway during a 100-year storm event. The intent of these conceptual renderings is to demonstrate the extent of the work and its potential impact. As shown, the existing storm sewer will be replaced with a larger, new box storm sewer beneath the pedestrian walkway and within the existing municipal property from Etude Drive to Municipal Creek. This will convey more storm flow away from road right-of-ways and private property to significantly reduce flooding in the area. Complete reconstruction of the pedestrian walkway and relocation of the chain link fence to the city's property line, which extends beyond the existing chain link fence, will be undertaken to allow construction of the box storm sewer and allow the city to access and maintain these lands and infrastructure going forward. This means that objects illegally encroaching on city property, such as fences, trees, shrubs, etc., will be removed prior to construction. It is intended that removals would be at the city's expense, understanding these encroachments may have been placed by past homeowners. Best efforts will be made to keep existing trees wherever possible, both along the walkway and within Dairy Greenway Park, and new trees and vegetation will be planted for those removed. There will also be significant improvements to the walkway itself, including a more formal and modernized multi-use trail. Safety and accessibility improvements will also be incorporated through different aspects of the walkway, such as improved lighting, updated signage, new bollards at road crossings, better sight lines, and more. Certain design aspects will help to deter loitering and litter, such as avoiding walkway benches and upgraded lighting. The preferred solution includes a new, larger outlet structure and channel realignment south of Justine Drive, upstream of Municipal Creek in Dairy Greenway Park. The channel design will dissipate flows to minimize downstream erosion. The proposed channel upgrades are not anticipated to cause flooding downstream along Municipal Creek. The existing outfall will remain in place while the new outfall is installed beside it, which will lessen construction impacts and disturbances in the area. Efforts will be made to avoid impacting trees and vegetation in the park with new plantings for those that end up requiring removal. The pedestrian walkway area, including lands extending beyond the walkway's chain link fence, are city-owned lands, and many illegal encroachments exist in this area, such as trees, gardens, fences, etc. The chain link fence would be relocated further out to the city's property line to allow construction of the box storm sewer and allow access and maintenance of these lands and infrastructure. Encroachments would be removed at the city's expense and not reinstated in order to construct the box culvert, outlet structure, and channel. Efforts will be made to keep existing trees where possible, and new trees and vegetation will be planted for those removed. A copy of this plan is included on the city's project webpage. A Notice of Public Impacts letter was mailed out in April 2021 to directly affected property owners. The purpose of the letter was to provide a project update, share preliminary preferred solution, and identify specific encroachments adjacent to properties and the city's plan for encroachments. The city requested feedback and many residents provided their thoughtful comments. Thank you to everyone who provided feedback. Residents confirmed their past flooding experiences and expressed support for the solution. Several residents had inquiries and expressed some concerns regarding specific encroachments on the city's property that would be impacted by the project. Concerns were expressed about loitering and litter and how these would be addressed through the new walkway design. Minimizing tree and vegetation removals and maintenance of the walkway were also important issues for residents. Efforts will be made to keep existing trees and shrubs where possible, and impacted trees will be replaced elsewhere within the city's property if there is adequate space. Other encroachments within the city's property that are removed will not be reinstated. The removal of encroachments will be at the city's expense, understanding that encroachments may have been placed by past homeowners. After viewing this presentation, we would like to receive your feedback on the recommended flood mitigation plan and move forward with completion of the environmental assessment phase of the study. Following the PIC, a project file report documenting the environmental assessment planning process will be prepared, and a notice of completion will be posted seeking public feedback into the project file report. The design phase is anticipated to be finalized over 2023 and 2024, and construction may start as soon as 2024, subject to the city's capital budget process and receiving all necessary approvals. Thank you for viewing this presentation, and we look forward to receiving any comments you may have by July 19th, 2023. Please contact either the city's project manager or the consultant project manager if you have any questions or comments about this study or would like to be added to the project mailing list. To stay up to date and fill out a comment form, we encourage you to visit the project website at www.mississauga.ca/Malton-flood-mitigation.